ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं वादरायणं सूत्रभाष्य कृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। एवं उपाधि भेदात् जीवेश्वर भेद दृष्टि यावत् पर्यन्तं तिष्ठति तावत् पर्यन्तं जन्म मरणादि रूप संसारो न निवर्तते। The meaning is, so long as the notion which is due to difference in the conditions that Jiva and Ishvara are different remains until such a time there is no liberation from samsara, which is of the form of repeated birth and death. I repeat again the meaning. So long as the notion which is due to difference in conditioning that Jiva and Ishvara are different remains until such time there is no liberation from samsara, which is of the form of repeated birth and death. Very important part we are entering in Tattvabodha. The consciousness appears as it too. Because of conditioning, because of ignorance, it is Ishvara and Jiva. This appearance in two is not real. It is in Vedanta, we say that it is a mithya. What does it mean by mithya? Very important word in Vedanta. You will hear so many times about mithya. So what does it mean by mithya? Mithya means which is dependent. So dependency so that it is not exist. It appears. It appears, but it is not. Like our reflection in the mirror. Reflection does not have any existence without mirrors. mirror is required. Without mirror, reflection is not possible. So, reflection is dependent. We can say this is a mithya. But your face does not require any mirror. It is real. So, mithya means which is not absolute, which is dependent on others. Same, consciousness is the absolute. But Jiva is not absolute. Ishvara also is not absolute. Jiva appears because of avidya. Avidya is like a mirror. Maya is like a mirror. So Jiva or Ishvara, both, because of conditioning. The condition is Maya and avidya. But consciousness, nothing required. So very simple definition of the unreal is, very simple definition of unreal is, which is dependent for his existence. You can say it is a must unreal. And real means it does not require any support from outside. So this is a real. So consciousness is absolute. Ishvara and Jiva both are the reflection in the avidya and Maya. So the condition is, in case of Jiva, their condition is avidya. Karana Sharira, causal body, avidya. Here, Tattvabodha says, एवं उपाधि भेदा जीव ईश्वर भेद दृष्टि. Dृष्टि means concept. This is a jiva and this is the Ishvara. This concept, this thought, it is not real. It is because of upadhi bheda, difference in conditioning, not in reality. And yavat tishtati, Shankaracharya here very strongly stating his statement. Very strongly. He says, एवं उपाधि भेद जीवेश्वर भेद दृष्टि यावत पर्यंतम तिष्ठति. So long as this notion, this concept, this thought it remains in our mind, until such time there is no liberation, whatever we do. But there is no liberation, no moksha. Only cause is dualism. Let's understand. What is liberation? According to Vedanta, what is liberation? What is moksha? and how we do get it. First, we should find out what the cause of boundary. What is the root cause? When we start to finding out causes, so there may be some sub causes, then other causes, then other causes, but you think deeply about root cause. What is the root cause? And find out root cause and remove it. This is your responsibility. Tattva says here, only ignorance is the root cause. Only ignorance is the root cause. Ignorance of what? Objects. If we do not know about sun, if we do not know about moon, about earth, we do not know about definition of water, it makes no difference in spirituality. Ignorance means what? Ignorance is here, I am Jivaha. This knowledge, listen carefully. What is the way of thinking? We know I am Jiva. This knowledge, Shankaracharya says, Tattva says, if you know I am Jiva, this knowledge is not knowledge, this is ignorance. And God is different from me. God is different from me. I am Jiva. This is knowledge. Like this is a book, this is chair, this is a building, tree, animals. Same way, I am Jiva. So this knowledge, Tattva says, this knowledge is not absolute knowledge. This is ignorance. The another step is, I am different, God is different. This courage, only Vedanta can say that. No other philosophy can think also. No other philosophy can think also, I am not different from the God. Only this reality, only Vedanta can reveal. So this is, I am Jivaha, God is different from me. So it means we know this is knowledge. But Tattva says, no, this is not knowledge, this is ignorance. You are not aware your reality. You are not aware at all your reality. We always ignore ourselves. We do not know about yourself. Whatever information we have about us, it is given by other persons. This is just information. This is not knowledge. We have interest to know everything. We have interest to know our body, any object, but we don't have any interest in ourselves. We want to know everything. There are so many things which are necessary for our life. but some are just time pass. So we don't have interest in ourselves, our reality. So other people can say, you are a human being. We say, so yes, I am a human being. Some will say, you are intelligent. You are great. You are dumb. So other people give us information about us. We are not interested. So this ignorance becomes I am Jiva, I am Manush, human being, father, mother, sister, brother, rich, poor, intelligent. I will die. I was born. So many thoughts are there in this level. And some other people, they are higher than a common man. They are interested in divine powers. In heaven, they are busy in rituals. They want to know about our rituals they are doing. They are much higher. For merit and go to heaven, enjoy heavenly pleasures for a long time. But you are Vedantin, you are a student of Tattva, you know very well what happens after. And other people, they are more higher. They are interested in God. They are busy with God. Always they pray to God. So 3 levels. A common man just interested in bodily objects, maybe gross body, for treatment, only for treatment. The spiritual person, they want go to heaven, they are busy with rituals. The more spiritual people, they are with God. So everyone is busy. Everyone is busy with others. Objects in this world are heavenly objects. Other world, or some are busy with God. They want to go to Vaikunt with God. But no one has interest in ourselves. Upanishad say, Atmanam Vijaniyat. Very straightforward. Very straightforward. Upanishad says, Atmanam Vijaniyat, know yourself. Atmanam Vijaniyat, know yourself. And this knowledge of yourself should be your directly. Atmanam Vijaniyat. You can take some supports from scriptures and a great master. But the ultimate, the result should be Atman Vijaniyat. We have known ourselves. It's not knowledge. This is ignorance. Other people are judging you. They give opinion according to their mind, intellect. They say You are intelligent, you are dumb, you are human being, and so and so. Mother, father, highly posted. But if you ask some realized person, who am I? His answer would be very different. He would say, very strange thing. Very strange. He would say, you are not body. Body just a cover, a cloth. So whatever thing, relations, possessions you have, these all are coming and going. These are not always with you. So some things comes and goes. It means they are not your nature. Like your anger comes and goes, emotion, hatred, so many things at body level, mental level, comes and goes. You are above. You are beyond. This is not your essential nature. So don't worry. Liberation means liberation, not any planet. Liberation, not any planet like Earth, heaven, not any space in the sky, anywhere. Liberation, moksha, is not any place, any planet, but not in gross level, not any subtle level. So remove this ignorance. Liberation is not any planet like Earth, a gross, like heaven, a subtle. This is not any planet, not any place. What is this? This is you, your pure nature. When you are without condition, you are pure. This is the state of yourself. Moksha does not mean any state with you. You will go to somewhere. No. Here, anytime, when we established his own nature, pure nature, Shad Chid Anand, this is the liberation. So, Tattva says, until time, anyone cannot liberate from the sansara. The other word is sansar. Sansar means what? Sansar. In Sanskrit, the word is sansar. Sansarati gachati iti sansara. This is the definition in Sanskrit. Sansar. Sansar means sansarati gachati. In English, we can say it means which is always changing. Which is always changing. Every time, every moment, everywhere, changes are happening. Everywhere. Every moment, everything is changing. You can say everything is momentary. Momentary. Only one moment exists, like a water flow. You go a bank of river, we see the flow of the water continuously. Water is flowing, but same water is not there. Water has passed, but flow is continuous. Flow is continuous. Same, all objects, all the world, I mean Himalaya, sun, moon, stone, everything, every object, every time, every moment, it's getting changing. Always. But in this process, so there is so similarity, we cannot recognize the difference immediately. We cannot understand the difference between two objects. Before one moment and another moment, the object completely changed. Scientists will say our body will completely change in 7 years. But scripture says no, our body will completely change every moment. But this change, the difference, we cannot recognize. We can recognize after 7 years. So because of this decay process, everything is gachati, sansarati, changing. That is why we call it sansara. Okay. When everything changing, we buy a kursi chair, slowly decay. After 40, 50 years or 100 years, it's this one. So this destruction is not once immediately. It is not suddenly. It was happening. It was happening every moment. Every moment. Every moment. That is we call kala. Kala means who cuts. In Sanskrit, kala. The meaning is kala means death. In Sanskrit, kala, time. The other meaning is kala means death. It's cut. Always cut. Always cut. Every object changes. Everything getting changes. Every stone. But we cannot recognize changes in stone. We can easily recognize changes in flowers, but not in stone. But procedure same. As first flowers are decaying, the same procedure is followed in stone. And the same procedure is applied with our body also. Our body, every time getting changes. When we accept because of ignorance. When we accept due to ignorance, I am the body. This acceptance, I am the body. Then no one can save us. There is no way. No one can save us. Any doctor, any medicine, any mantra, any power, divine power. No one can save us if we know that I am the body. Not only medicine, hospital, doctors, mantra, tantra, even God Himself. Even God Himself also is not able to save us. It is against of the nature. Because body's nature is to die. It will go to die. It will go to die. And samsara. I told you samsara, sansarati, gacchati. Every time moves ahead. But in a circle. Very interesting thing. Every time sansarati, gacchati means always going, going, going. But reaching nowhere. Every time it goes, but reaching nowhere. It is in a circle. It is a circle. So when we accept that I am the body, 100% it is guaranteed body will go to die. Then death is permanent. Lord Sri Krishna says no. Jatasya dhruvo mrityu dhruvam janma mritasya cha. Lord Sri Krishna said in Gita, whoever is died, he must be born. So death is not also permanent. After death there is birth. After birth there is a death. This is samsara. This is the circle of the world. It's always going, going, but nothing reaching anywhere. It's the same. Birth, death, birth, death. So here in Tattva Bodha, written here, Janma Maranadi Rupa Sansaro na nivartate. What is the nature of the world? Which of the form of repeatedly birth and death. This is the meaning of the samsara. Who always going, but in a circle. In a circle. Day, then night, then day. This is circle. Sunday to Saturday, then same. Everything the same. But nothing is permanent. Morning, evening, then evening. Shankaracharya has wrote, written in Tattva Bhajagovinda. Seasons are coming and going. Morning, evening comes and goes. Everything comes and goes continuously. This is circle. So samsara means a cycle, a circle, death and birth, death and birth, death and birth. This is samsara. This is a simple unit. Now we can think in cosmos base, a level of concept. Cosmos. This is our body system. Body takes birth, childhood, young, and old age, then nothing. But what about the cosmos, all universe. So our scriptures say when Mahapralaya comes, then reverse process begins. Reverse process starts. When we take birth, the reverse process immediately starts. Immediately, when we take birth, immediately that same moment, reverse process starts. Countdown towards death. 1 day passed, 2 days passed, 3 days passed, year passed, and after nothing has to pass. Then passed away. In the cosmos level, in the universe level, scriptures say when Mahapralaya comes, the total destruction is our body's destruction as a death. But Mahapralaya comes, the total destruction comes, the universal level reverse process starts. How? In first 100 years, there is no rain. 100 years. Everything becomes dried up. And because of that drought, all water sources become finished, dried up. No greenery, no plants. 100 years. Then no human beings, no animals, no creature, nothing. No living creature, no living being, because there is no water. Without water, there is no life. 100 years, no water, then everything goes to its root. Its root is earth. I told you in Tattvabodha previous classes, from Prithivyaha, from the earth, out of the earth become trees, food, grain, human body. So they go to back their cause. And after 100 years, there is no life in a body. Then still 100 years, continuously rain comes. There is some special clouds for that time, for that destruction, they called Samvartak. Very heavily rain. Not only cats and dogs, it animals and elephants. 100 years continuously rain, continuously, then all the earth goes to his cause in water. Everywhere is water. Everywhere, no earth. Everywhere, water. Then, after some time, the rain stops and sun comes out. Not only one sun, 12 suns immediately, simultaneously comes out in the sky and multiply, and all water evaporates. So there is no water. Water goes to its cause in the fire. In the fire. So everywhere now, no tree, no planet, nothing. no earth, no water, just heat, 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 fire, 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 stages. And after some time, hundreds of years, the starts year. Now turning for year. Year comes. And the special year that time, it is 49 types. 49 types the year. And in this year, all heats go to back on the cause of its year. And now here also go to back, it's called space, space in the Maya, and nothing. This is the Mahapralaya. Everything finished. Total destruction has happened. Nothing remains except consciousness. Nothing remains, only consciousness, consciousness. This is the death of universe. That time, no gross body, no subtle body, but causal body is still there. That is why liberation will not happen. Understand very attentively. Total destruction happened, no earth, no water, no five elements, all things disappears in their causes. Earth in water, water in the fire, fire, air, air in the space. In the Prakriti. But after total destruction, after Mahapralaya, still no liberation. And if someone dies, it does not mean it becomes liberated. So death is not liberation. We know it. Death is not liberation. Death comes and goes. After death, there is a birth. After birth, there is a death. This is a cycle we know. How to break this cycle? This is the subject of the Tattva Bodha. Same way, after Mahapralaya also, there is no liberation. Liberation will not happen. Thus, destruction of the every body, subtle body, gross body, all universe, it does not make liberation. There are some religions in the world who believe that after death there is liberation. That day will come, your judgment. So death is cause. But Vedanta is very realistic. He does not believe such nonsense things. Death is not cause for liberation. So this is the samsara, this is the world, the cycle. Here, Tattva Bodha तिष्ठावत् पर्यन्तं जन्म मरणादि रूप संसारो न निवर्तते. The word is a word creation, janma maranadi rupa. Its nature is, form is repeatedly birth and death. This is sansar, this is universe. Now, Now we understood what is the liberation, what is the world. What should we do now? Tattva says. Next one. एवं उपाधि भेदा जीवेश्वर भेद दृष्टि यावत् पर्यंतम तिष्ठति तावत् पर्यंतम जन्म मरणादि रूप संसारो न निवर्तते. This is the cause. Now we got understand what the cause. Cause is the understanding, the concept that I am different, God is different. This cause is the root cause of the bondage. I am the Jeev, I will die, I will born. This is the root cause. And now, what should we do next? Tasmat karanat jiveshwara veda buddhi na swikarya. So strongly, Shankaracharya, so firmly, he says, due to that reason, the notion that Jiva is different from Ishvara should not be accepted. Very clearly, no doubt in mind. I repeat the meaning. Tasmat karanat Jiva Ishvarayo Bheda Buddhi na Swikarya. Due to that reason, the notion that Jiva is different from the Ishvara, this concept should not be accepted. Very clearly. Very clearly. Vedanta tells us what is the reason of the bondage. Bondage reason is the concept, the notion that I am the Jiva. I am different from the God. This notion, this concept, due to ignorance, it must be removed. And when you remove the cause, effect automatically will go. The cause is ignorance. So Shankaracharya says, we have a notion, I am Jivaha, I am Jivaha, I will die, I am such and so and so. You ask yourself, just forget everything. Just forget everything and ask yourself, who are you? Who are you? Because due to ignorance, we have know that I am the Jiva, I am in body. And other side, the other consciousness is God. God is against me, opposite me, opposite. I am limited, God is unlimited. I born, God does not. So these consciousness are two, Jiva and Ishvara. This knowledge, this concept, Shankaracharya says, should not accept it. You practice every time. You practice it. For this, you are not different from the God. Only Vedanta can tell you. No other scripture. No other philosophy. They will support you in your ignorance. They say, yes, you are right. You are Jiva. You are limited. Only Vedanta has the courage who says that no, they are not two. It too appears, but consciousness is the same. This should not accepted here in Tattvabodha. This concept, this notion, at any cost should not be accepted. You should not accept. Just deny. There is no two entity, only one entity. So today we take here this topic conclusion. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Vadarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punah. Isharo Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyaptadehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.